encouraged, sustained, inspired, and tolerated, not only by my wife, but by the greatest group of friends anyone ever had.
Number 10. Planning a game night for Bernadette. Sheldon and Bernadette aren't exactly the first Big Bang pairing that springs to mind.
Looks like Saturday night, it's you and me.
Me? How? Why?
Well, it makes perfect sense. Like, because you're an expectant mother, you can't drink alcohol. I don't like to. You can't have sushi. I don't like to.
But when Penny wins a wine tasting experience, they hang out since Bernie's pregnant and can't drink, and Sheldon prefers his grapes in a juice box. He organizes a fetus-friendly festival of fun for the expectant mother, including a deep conversation about trains and a detailed exploration of toast.
There's more than one?
You've heard of French toast?
Yeah.
Cinnamon toast?
Yeah.
Melba toast?
Yeah.
You get where I'm going here?
Yeah.
It's not how we'd choose to spend an evening, but it's the thought that counts, and they do end up bonding. Of course, the night's highlight is the Dungeons and Dragons game Sheldon designed especially for his guest.
For example, in this world, only the men get pregnant. So your husband is home trying not to pee when he laughs.
This is getting fun. What's next?
She ends up having more fun than expected and thanks him for the much-needed distraction.
Thank you for this. You know, ever since people found out I'm having a baby, I feel like I became pregnant, Bernadette. It was nice to take a little break tonight.
Number 9. Toasting Leonard's voyage. Sheldon struggles with varying emotions after Leonard accepts a research position that would take him to the North Sea.
Well, now, do you think that's a good idea? I do. You know Star Trek. Should a guy with no name and a red shirt really go on an expedition?
On the one hand, he's concerned for his buddy. After all, the sea can be rough. However, that's partially just a cover-up for the green-eyed monster that's reared its ugly head.
Oh my God, Sheldon the genius is jealous of Leonard.
I'm not jealous. I'm just very unhappy that good things are happening for him and not happening for me.
Throughout the episode, Sheldon tries varying tactics to talk Leonard out of going until Penny tells him to be more supportive. So, when he gives a toast at Leonard's bon voyage party, we expect a tirade of cutting comments and unkind quips. Instead, Sheldon swallows his bitterness to express genuine happiness for his buddy.
To my best friend, Dr. Leonard Hofstadter. He has been presented with a wonderful opportunity, and I couldn't be happier for him.
He keeps it short and sweet, but it's surprisingly heartwarming. Number 8. Sheldon ups his wedding game. Wedding planning puts a strain on Amy and Sheldon's relationship when their rivalry results in the event of no one's dreams.
Maybe we should just get married at City Hall and forget about everything else.
City Hall. I do like metal detectors.
So they decide to bypass all the drama and head down to City Hall. Just as their names get called, Sheldon has a change of heart and expresses his love for Amy in the most Sheldon-like way.
It's like finding dark matter. Except they're looking for dark matter. I wasn't even looking for you. So you're even better than dark matter.
Perhaps it was City Hall's metal detectors that brought out his romantic side, but his loving words to Amy make us melt.
When you make a discovery like this, you don't just take it down to City Hall. You tell the whole world. And so I'll say it in Latin or Klingon.
A few episodes later, he gives Amy the compliment he didn't know she needed when he sees her in her wedding dress. And his vows on the big day are beautiful.
Even if I can't tell you now how I feel, I will spend my life showing you how much I love you.
We're not crying. You are. Number 7. Sticking up for his bestie. This quirky genius might be the most selfish, arrogant, and frustrating roommate, but there's no denying his love for Leonard.
Fine. You unlucky little leprechaun.
He's a hobbit. I got your back.
Since the first episode, it's been clear that he will always have his back. We've seen him stand by him during confrontations with Penny's ex-boyfriend Kurt more than once.
Sheldon, I am so sorry I dragged you through this.
It's okay. It wasn't my first pantsing, and it won't be my last.
He was also in Lenny's corner when his rude and obnoxious high school tormentor dropped by.
You're a terrible person who took advantage of his tiny size, his uncoordinated nature, and his congenital lack of masculinity.
Sheldon.
Leonard, I platonically love you, man, but face it, you're a mess.
It shows a lot of dedication and courage to stick by his friends when faced with such physically challenging threats. He's also protective of Leonard's feelings. Well, he can be. When he worries that Penny might break his heart again, he pleads with her not to hurt his best friend.
Penny,
What?
please don't hurt my friend.
That is the last thing I want to do.
Thank you.
Number 6. Loaning Penny money. Dr. Cooper has many annoying qualities, but stinginess isn't among them.
Take some. Pay me back when you can.
Wow, you got a lot of money in there.
That's why it's guarded by snakes. Take some.
When Penny shares her financial woes with him, he offers to help her out, no strings attached. He lets her take as much as she needs and doesn't set a deadline by which she must pay him back.
I'll pay you back as soon as I can.
Of course you will. It's impossible to pay me back sooner than you can. Assuming you subscribe to a linear understanding of time and causality.
Penny's super grateful to him, but tensions rise when she starts to feel the pressure of her debt. Sheldon misinterprets her reaction and innocently questions if he didn't give her enough.
You lent her money?
She needed money. You seem under pressure. Did I not lend you a sufficient amount? Because I can give you more.
Oh, you would just love that, wouldn't you?
Poor Sheldon. He was genuinely trying to be helpful, and his intentions were good, so her anger confuses him. Luckily, Leonard steps in to explain that this really is one of Sheldon's best qualities.
You do understand that Sheldon really doesn't care when he gets the money back. It's actually one of the few idiosyncrasies that doesn't make you want to, kill him.
What a sweetheart. Number 5. Keeping Leonard's secrets. Among the many things that Sheldon Cooper dislikes, lying and secrecy rank pretty high.
First of all, your lie was laughably transparent, where mine is exquisitely convoluted. While you were sleeping, I was weaving an unravelable web.
Yet he's willing to do both for Leonard. Whether he's weaving an unravelable tale to help him save face with Penny, or fabricating an Irish love interest to cover up his secret relationship with Priya.
And if anyone were to actually call that number, they will hear this.
Top of the morning to you. You've reached Maggie McGarry.
He's even gone to extreme lengths when he's unable to keep a secret from Leonard. As we see in the flashback episode, Sheldon also saved Leonard from revealing classified secrets to a spy and blowing up their apartment.
Luckily, Sheldon drove her out before I revealed anything important, which I'm not saying I would have.
So, that's it? You stayed with Sheldon all this time because he kept you from going to federal prison?
Those are pretty big secrets, and since they weren't yet friends, he wasn't obliged to keep them. Yet for years he did, proving that Sheldon can be a gold star friend.
Not only did Sheldon save my life, he didn't rat me out to the landlord, or the police, or Homeland Security.
Number 4. Setting up a scholarship fund for Howard and Bernadette's child. The guys hit a roadblock while trying to patent their infinite persistence gyroscope. The trio takes matters into their own hands to ensure everyone gets their fair share of the profits.
Guys would be cool doing it like that?
Of course. Split any profits 3 ways.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, great.
It sounds like a contract might be in order.
Understandably, Bernadette is a little apprehensive about her husband signing a contract drafted by a man who consistently belittles his career, and she makes some pretty compelling points.
Tried to work with him before, hasn't gone well. Why is this time going to be any different?
Is the fetus helping you? Because that's cheating.
After some discussion, Penny suggests they add a clause that obligates Sheldon to be more respectful of his friend. Sure, he had to be told to play nice, but no one told him to make those additional changes on page 6.
25% of profits due to Sheldon Cooper will be allocated to a scholarship fund for the firstborn child of Howard and Bernadette Wallowitz. Sheldon, that's so nice.
It ends up being a backhanded compliment, but the good intention and generosity were there. Number 3. Refusing to betray Amy for a Nobel Prize. Finally, Sheldon's on the path to his lifelong dream of winning a Nobel Prize. It couldn't be any better.
You weren't even thinking about super asymmetry?
Thinking about it? We don't even understand it.
And now look at the four of us, changing the face of physics.
He did it with his soulmate by his side, and their theory was proven by a couple of physicists from Chicago. Yes, it seems like Sheldon's about to get everything he's ever wanted, but then Doctors Pemberton and Campbell drop a major bombshell.
The three physicists should be the ones to win the Nobel Prize for physics.
Wait, so you want to cut Amy out?
No, of course not. We don't want to, but we're going to.
As much as Sheldon would love to win a Nobel Prize, he loves Amy even more. So when faced with deciding between the two, it's a no-brainer.
This has been your lifelong dream, and you may not get another chance. I don't want to be the reason that you don't win a Nobel.
You're the only reason I deserve one.
Sheldon's no romance ninja, but this is arguably one of the most romantic and sweetest things he's ever done. Do they give out Nobels for being the cutest?
Amy and I did this together, and I will not be part of an award that does not recognize the value of her contributions. So, you either include both of us in the recommendation letter or don't bother writing one.
Number 2. His Nobel Prize acceptance speech. It's no secret that Sheldon could be a pretty awful friend. By the series finale, he's pretty much alienated everyone.
They're abandoning us because you broke their hearts.
I didn't mean to.
I know! You never mean to!
But after an emotional heart-to-heart with Amy, he abandons his pre-prepared egotistical Nobel acceptance speech and speaks straight from the heart. He dedicates his success to his family and friends, finally showing them the gratitude they deserve.
I have been encouraged, sustained, inspired, and tolerated, not only by my wife, but by the greatest group of friends anyone ever had.
Who doesn't well up when Sheldon acknowledges the role his loved ones played in his accomplishments? And when he asks each of his friends to stand, we're a complete mess.
He said to me that their babies would be smart and beautiful. And now that they're expecting, I have no doubt that that will be the case.
All the characters evolved over the seasons, but this moment shows leaps and bounds in Sheldon's personal growth. Who knew Sheldon Cooper would make us ugly cry?
But I want you to know, in my way, I love you all.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Offering Penny career advice, he encourages her to chase her dreams.
I didn't take some other job in case it didn't work out, which wasn't easy because there was a lot of pressure from Miss Pearson for me to be chalk monitor that year.
Thank you, I needed to hear that.
Not taking sides after Leonard and Penny split, his desire to keep everyone happy is uncharacteristically touching.
Was Leonard okay with you coming over?
Oh, yes. In fact, he said, "I'm fine, I don't care." And he in no way said that in a manner which would lead one to believe that he was covering up feelings of anguish and betrayal.
Making Amy a Little House on the Prairie themed birthday dinner. Sure, they got food poisoning, but it's the thought that counts, right?
Would you care to join me for an authentic frontier dinner made entirely from scratch?
I can't believe you did this! It's amazing!
Oh, it's not a big deal.
Sheldon uses science to cheer up Howard. Thanks to Sheldon, Howard's comforted with varying accounts of what was in his dad's letter.
If we each present you with an account of what your father wrote to you, only one of which is true, and then we don't tell you which one it is, you will forever be in a state of epistemic ambivalence.
Hugging Penny. Sheldon showing gratitude? It's a Saturnalia miracle. Number 1. Consoling Howard after his mum dies. Throughout this episode, Sheldon's being his typical self-centered and annoying self. He's mad at Amy for collaborating with Kripke, so Penny tries to teach him how to let go of his anger.
Now open your hand and let it go.
But I just got this pen. Well, it's got my initials on it and everything. Look.
During the healing process, he annoys Penny by revealing that Amy's been testing her intelligence. By the end of the episode, almost everyone's at odds, but then Howard receives some heartbreaking news.
That was my aunt. Ma took a nap. She never woke up.
Everyone's at a loss for words, except, of course, Sheldon. However, rather than say something insensitive and inappropriate, as we all expected, his words are heartfelt and comforting.
What?
When I lost my own father, I didn't have any friends to help me through it. You do.
And in a way, he's also telling his friends how much he values them. Sheldon doesn't often do sympathy, so when he does, it's always a welcome surprise.